So I came across Paddy's new video where he was training and submitting 10 Marines. It was an absolutely brilliant video. I watched it and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think he came across absolutely brilliant. There was also this article. Paddy Pimblett shares that it would be the biggest pay-per-view in UFC history if he fought Conor McGregor. We'll get to that one in a minute. But the interesting takeaway from his YouTube video with the Marines was that he called out Francis Ngannou to an extent. Let's have a look.
Would you give to those ones that are like pursuing their dreams or like their inspiration is to become a fighter?
If you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna go nowhere. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone can beat me. I don't give a f***. Put Francis Ngannou in there with me. I'll pick him up and drop him on his head.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You know what I mean? You can't think anyone is ever gonna beat you. I always say, if you come into MMA or any fighting sport and you don't want to be the best there is, the best there was and the best there ever will be, you're in the wrong game. Anyone can win. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I could start fighting with a 14-year-old and get caught with a right hook and get put fast asleep. I believe I can beat anyone. I don't give a how big you are, what you look like, or if you've got 7 arms. You know what I mean? I'll beat you.
So there you have it. He reckons he could beat Francis Ngannou, drop him on his head. And why not? Since we're Paddy Pimblett fans now, why not? I believe in him. I think he came across brilliantly in this video. I really enjoyed him. And I don't know whether it's because his sidekick wasn't attached to his hip or whether it was just a more grounded, docile Paddy. But man, I really enjoyed it. And I think he came across great. And I think that sort of advice and that sort of confidence that he exuded there with that kind of humility was exactly what it needed to be for me to be like, yeah, dude, let's go. Let's see more of this. I subscribed to his YouTube channel. I thought it was great. He trained with these lads. And then obviously I love jiu-jitsu. So I'm watching him training jiu-jitsu with these guys was absolutely brilliant to watch. He submitted like 10 of them in a row. I thought it was absolutely great. He got a massive workout done. He was so humble. He hung out with these boys. He answered questions. He did all the hard work with these lads. He was carrying these boys around on his back. And for me, I just thought it was a different side. But I think Paddy Pimblett turned a corner here, for me anyway. And I would definitely like to see more of this side of him. And as I said, if we could surgically remove the sidekick, he'd be in a better position, I think, in terms of popularity. So we'll jump over to this story. So basically the story was that Paddy and his sidekick were in Conor McGregor's bar, the Black Forge or whatever the fuck that's called, in Dublin. They were on a FaceTime with Conor. It was all very pleasant. It was all very amicable. In the aftermath, Paddy had a little conversation and he was quoted of saying, let me get this here now. Pimblett sees huge McGregor fight as a possibility. During recent appearance on Steve-O's Wild Ride podcast, Pimblett turned his attention to potential showdown with former featherweight and lightweight king Conor McGregor. Ever since he burst onto the scene, the Liverpool native has been heavily compared to the Irishman, owing to his charisma and his confidence on the microphone. With that, many people have pondered the future of a collision between the pair. After leaving the door open to the matchup should McGregor return to 155 pounds, Pimblett suggested that the bout would headline the most pay-per-view cards in UFC history. You never know, lad. Down the line, me and him could end up fighting, Pimblett said. It's a possibility. If he comes back to 155, that will be the biggest pay-per-view in history. McGregor is currently sidelined, suffering with a broken leg. I think if Paddy moves up in echelon in terms of quality of fighter and wins his next fight on a big card, a pay-per-view card, I think then I will buy into the hype of him fighting Conor McGregor. We know he's a massive star in Britain. We know that he's a massive star in America. If he's on one of these December pay-per-view cards and he has a decent opponent, someone that's recognizable, someone with a bit of quality, and he beats him, I think then we will have conversations about him and Conor McGregor being this huge mega fight. And I'd be open to watch that, of 100%. As for Conor, what the hell is going on there? Jump over here to this one.
The most power Twitter's ever seen. The most power Twitter's ever seen. The most power Twitter has ever seen. The most power Twitter's ever seen.
The most power Twitter has ever seen. Mickey Mouse, Conor McGregor fans saying the same thing after UFC ace tweets bizarre voice note impersonating Mickey Mouse. Fans are worried about Conor McGregor. So in the space of a week and a half, we have a leaked sex tape with Conor and his fiancée. We have Conor starring in the new Roadhouse movie. We have Conor looking jacked in a bunch of different videos, which sparked the rumors that he's on steroids again. We have Conor hasn't been tested by USADA in a year and a half. We have Conor McGregor does a brilliant impression of Mickey Mouse. And now we have Conor McGregor's mental health being questioned by fans on Twitter. And it's a nothing burger again. You know, to me it just looks like he's acting the bollocks on Twitter. Simple as that. Looks like he's acting the bollocks. And the fact that he's jacked, I don't know. He looks pretty jacked there, doesn't he? But again, I mean, okay, he definitely has gained pounds. We know that for 100% fact. He looks seriously jacked there, but he's just after coming off a pump. He's absolutely jacked on adrenaline. He looks big, but like, give that an hour or two, and he's eating a cheeseburger, drinking a glass of whiskey, smoking a cigar. He's gonna look deflated as well. I think there's just way too much been read into all these videos. As for the most power Twitter's ever seen,
The most power Twitter's ever seen.
I thought it was funny. I think that I think Conor needs to get the movie done. Is he ever going to come back and fight? We don't know. If he does, and Paddy keeps going in the trajectory that he's on, I think that'd be a good fight. I think that'd be a very interesting fight. How do we feel about Paddy Pimblett bouncing Francis Ngannou's head off the mat? How do we feel about that? Could he do it? Yeah, why not? Paddy the Baddy.